Alrighty guys, as promised, I'm coming with a second installment. I told you that I would be doing something to this top portion of this hat, and I didn't want beginners to get discouraged, so I thought I would do it in a separate video so that they could at least create this part without too much fear. Alright, so things you will need include a crochet hook. I want to use a smaller size. It's size I US. I think it's like 5.5 millimeter, maybe, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I'm going to use this color yarn in the top, the same pink that I used in this area. I still have some leftover purple and this type of yarn as well, so I might incorporate that in there. I'll see. You guys know I never know until I'm actually doing it. All right, let's get started. All right, to start, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up so that I can see the top there. And then I am going to put the yarn right at the center, right at the opening there. And actually, I want to do it from the inside. So I've identified the top. Now let's go to the inside. In fact, I can stick my crochet hook in that top like that. Okay. And now I'm going to open it to the inside. And I'm going to hook the yarn on and pull it out through to the top. Like this, okay? So that's what I have. Now I'm going to, so I have a loop, right? Let me show you the inside. I have a little tail and I have the working yarn. So I'm going to pull the tail so that the loop, see how it got smaller? Okay. And now I'm going to tie a couple of knots. You want your crochet hook to be in that loop when you tie these knots. One, let's check. Okay, it's still in there. And I can pull tighter now. So one, and then the second one, tight, two. All right, and now I'm ready to start. I have the loop on my crochet hook. Now, all of these holes in there, those are all places where we could crochet these slip stitches to create whatever design we want. So that's what we're gonna do. And you'll notice that this whole thing can be pulled through, so just pull it down so that it doesn't. It'll secure once we make our first slip stitch. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go into this spot right here. You guys can go wherever you want, okay? Be creative, but this is just a reference. So I'm gonna insert my crochet hook into that hole. And then what it looks like on this side is this, okay? Now I'm gonna take the working yarn, I'll yarn over, and then I'm gonna pull through. Like that. So I've now pulled through to the front, and now I'm going to go through the loop that's on my crochet hook to create a slip stitch. And then once again, as I said, you can pull that. All right, now the next one, I'm going to go to that hole right there. So insert, and then on this side, I'm yarning over, pulling through the white like that, and then pulling through the one on my loop, okay? All right, the next hole, I'll go there, through the white, up and over. This is what it looks like on this side. Yarn over, pull through the white. I have two loops on my crochet hook, and I go through the pink. So I'm just creating slip stitches, you guys. Once you get the feel for this, you won't need to flip it over. Let me show you. You just go through, fill it, hook it up, over, yarn over, pull through, all the way through like that. Stick it in, yarn over, fill it, pull it all the way through, and slip stitch. Stick it in, yarn over, fill it, pull through, okay? And this is how I'm creating these slip stitches. As I said before, I'm using all of these available holes. So that's what you're going to do. You can create any design you want. Right now I'm kind of following the swirly circular pattern, but it doesn't matter. You create your own design. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit. I'll check back in and show you the design that I am getting, and then we'll wrap up this video. Very easy. So this is what I've done so far. You have to be mindful that when you're doing this sort of stitching, kind of like embroidery, it's going to affect how the hat lays, because you're bunching up stitches if you're pulling tightly. So you want to try to find the balance where it's neat but also somewhat loose. All right, and since I decided to incorporate this purple, I think what I'm going to do is incorporate some purple around here just so that it matches, okay? A little bit more than it does. I mean, it looks fine the way it is. It's beautiful, right? But when you get to the purple, you're like, where did that come from? So I'm going to put purple here. Now, a good way to do this, you always want your yarn to come from the inside so that when you stick your hook in there, you're grabbing it from the inside. But something that you can do is wherever you want to start, stick your hook in there, grab it, pull it out, and then go around a stitch and pull. So I'll go over here now, just on the other side, and pull that in. And then you can tie a couple of knots, and it makes it a little bit more secure. Remember when I showed you the pink, it was kind of pulling through to the outside? Well, this will prevent that because it's tied, right? And so now when I'm ready to start, all I do is stick my hook in there and then yarn over and then pull through, and there's my starting loop. Okay? So as I said, I'm just going to do a ring around here, around this border. And I want to make them loose because I don't want the opening to be any tighter than it is. It's perfect as it is. So I'm keeping my slip stitches really loose, as is evidenced by how long they are, right? Okay. I'll check back in once I get back around here. All right, here's the starting hole. So I'm going to go in there, yarn over, and pull through like that. Not grabbing any of the white or trying to avoid grabbing any of the white. All right, so I go in there, now yarn over, pull through. All right, so now I'm going to cut my yarn, fasten off, and then I'm going to bring the crochet through, hook through, yarn over, pull it in. And now I have the starting tail, this ending tail, where two or more gathered, so I'll tie a couple of knots. 1, 2. If you didn't have another tail to tie it through, something that you could do is use a darning weaving tapestry needle and then just kind of go under the line of slip stitches like that to kind of tuck it in. And then when you're ready, okay, like that, you could use your crochet hook, come through, yarn over, pull through, and then chain 1. And that would create a knot like that. Okay, so you got options. All right, so here is the band of slip stitches. Remember, whenever you put the slip stitches there, it's going to, you're eliminating the stretchiness of that area. Okay, so make sure you do it loose, and make sure you take that into consideration when you decide whether or not you actually want to add a band in whatever location. Okay, but isn't this beautiful? You're like, I can't really see it yet. There we go. Yeah, I think this is absolutely beautiful. And of course, yours should look different than mine because you're being creative, doing it yourself. Okay. Here's another view. Okay. You could add more, but I just wanted just a little bit of a design on top. Nothing super crazy, just, you know, all that white. I'm like, I can add some color up there. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, then definitely give me a like and consider subscribing. And if you want to see more crochet videos from me, check out the video above. See you in the next one.